Hey there! From the Spiffing Needle Geeks channel and from your deadly neighborhood Deadpool, hope you guys enjoy the finale of my video game, and be sure to have a safe and happy Halloween this year. Hope to see a lot of you dressed up as me out there! Just don't dress up as this Deadpool, okay? That is very insulting, and you're also gonna get really cold doing so, okay? So just don't do that, alright? Alright folks, we're at the final part of the Deadpool video game, ladies and gentlemen. We finally reached Magneto's old citadel. And with this final part of the level, in a matter of speaking, it is now time for a massive, very long mook rush.
Who cares about that? I finally got my beef grillers.
Yay! Truly the grillers are important here.
Yes, they are.
Well, Danny, he has to eat sometime. I refuse to let my best buddy starve to death.
Yeah, but specifically the beef grillers.
Yes. Also picked up Guardians 2 while I was out.
Wait. The Telltale game?
Oh, no, the movie.
Oh. Nice. God, it's actually kind of sad to admit that I have yet to see the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Go do it. It's good.
Well, then again, I can say the same thing for a lot of Marvel movies. I mean, it's like, I know my sister and I did plan on seeing Spider-Man Homecoming around the time when it first came out, but I guess shit happened on both of our ends, and it just never happened.
That movie was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from a lot of people, that Spider-Man Homecoming was, like, one of the better Spider-Man films.
I'm laughing because, like, I remember one of the promotional posters that they had for the movie where it shows Spider-Man wearing a little vest, kind of just with headphones, kind of sleeping on the side of the sleeping on the side of a bridge with the Avengers building in the background. Have you guys seen that poster?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, fun fact. What was the actor's name again? I forget.
Oh God, I don't remember.
Well, the guy that played a Spider-Man, that wasn't actually a pose. That the guy actually legitimately just was tired and took a nap on the bridge, and a photographer was like, "That looks cool," and took a picture of it. And
Are you serious?
And then they posterized it without telling the actor, and he was just like, "What the heck, guys?"
That is awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot of pretty funny little tidbits at the act. Let me look up his name before I keep having this, so that way I don't have to keep just saying the actor.
That guy, that actor. Spider-Man actor number 3.
Let's see. Spider-Man Homecoming cast. Tom Holland, that's right. Tom Holland is his name. So yeah,
okay.
So there was a point where like Tom Holland said a bunch of fun little tidbits regarding the movie, like how the sound editors really hated him because every time he acted, like he was shooting the webs, he always went pshh, like actually with his mouth. Like he was trying to sound out the sound effect himself in his head because it was like a force of habit, and the sound editors really hated him for doing that. He wasn't supposed to.
Oh God. Oh man.
Fun little stuff like that.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to quickly point out, I know we were talking over it, but I remember there was the one moment, wait. Actually, I don't recall if Mr. Sinister already said it, but, because we were too busy talking, but I could have sworn at one point, if not earlier, probably later on, I think I remember Sinister going on about, like, "You will not stand against my clones, Deadpool."
Yeah, funny you should say that, considering that he literally mowed through majority of your clones throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I know, right?
And not just the mook clones, 2 of your personal clones too, Sinister, so I mean... Then again, I guess to be fair, the first clone was stuck in the chair, and the second one he's like Deadpool snuck up on, so meh.
Meanwhile, you're just buying all the things at Toys R Us.
Well, not anymore. He's out now.
he's like, no, wait, hold on, I need to buy more shit.
Just take a cig break, guys. Give me a second.
Take 5. And he hands him, like, take 5 chocolate bars.
Wait, take 5 chocolate bars? What?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
No. Yeah, there's actually a candy bar that they're called Take 5.
Huh.
Well, there's a candy bar called whatchamacallit.
That is true.
And it's fucking good.
Is it chocolate or?
Yeah. It's like chocolate, caramel, crispy. I mean, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's like whenever, like, you know, my parents and I, like, whenever we go to the movies, we always pass, like, a Walgreens on the way to the theater. So rather than buying the candy at the theater where it's limited and overpriced, we always swing by the Walgreens and we pick up candy we actually like, and they always get, like, you know, 2 for whatever. And it's like, you know, yeah, whatchamacallits is usually, like, one of my go-tos.
So you mean you do the same that you do the thing that literally every family in the world do, where they buy candy beforehand and they just hide it in their bag or whatever.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people don't do that.
I guess that's a good point. Talking to the people who actually sit in those long lines.
Yeah, well, it's like, you know, my sister-in-law, you know, prior to you know, until she and my brother moved back to Ohio and everything, you know, yeah, she actually worked at a movie theater. So she was telling us all kinds of crazy shit that, like, people would say, people would do, like, in the movie theaters and shit. So that's where it's just like, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that's like, you know, kudos to the people that actually have to work in a movie theater. Like, you know, because you got to deal with, like, you know, especially, like, the people that have to clean up after people after, like, a viewing.
Yeah. Do more of that custodian work.
Just kudos to people who work anywhere in general.
Yeah, well, kudos to people. You know, actually, kudos to people that deal with customer service in general. That's like one of the biggest benefits I have with my job. It's like I don't have to deal with, you know, stupid customers. I deal with people in the back. I deal with my own people. I don't deal with them.
That's why I like my job too. The only people I deal with during my job are the kids. Like the kids and generally you know, directors who are always professional anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, unlike you two, I'm still with customer service. Still been at it since 2012. And still going strong.
And what's funny is whenever I tell people that I only work, you know, with, you know, with small, you know, with small kids, like, you know, they go, "Oh, I feel so bad for you," and I'm sitting here like, "Why do you feel bad for me? Kids are some of the easiest people to work with. They're honest, and they're just fun.
Like,
they're honest and they're so innocent.
Just jingle something shiny in front of them. I'll shut them up.
Yeah, they're easy.
Oh, jeez.
Like with grown-ups, you can't predict shit with them.
Yeah. Although at the same time, though, there are quite a few people that will think that you, the cashier or worker, can predict what the customer is thinking, or they can predict what you're gonna do or whatever.
Well, that's just human nature's adept feeling to think that everyone else is psychic except for you.
Yeah, I know.
AKA the world revolves around me syndrome.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, no. Here I am, just bagging groceries for a customer. Like, it's like, oh, can I get paper bags, please? And then just leave it at that. It's their lack of communication that what irks me or whatnot. Even if I ask them, okay, any particular way you want me to bag these particular items and whatnot, they don't really talk. And then afterwards, they're just like, okay, why would you bag these bags so heavy? What's wrong with you? And it's like, I asked you and you didn't respond. How am I supposed to know how you want me to do a certain something when you don't talk with me? I'm talking to you, why are you not talking with me?
Communication.
Exactly. Communication is a very important factor on both sides, regardless, you know? But then again, it's like, I'm not Scotchy. What am I trying to say? I mean, it again, yeah, just like exactly what you said, BJ. It's something that revolves in human nature or whatever. So it's like as someone can as much as I would want to go ahead and just be like, oh, I can just talk about this and it will stop. No, it'll never stop. Actually, I believe it's at this point where, what was it? I believe this is where I officially unlock the rest of the upgrades.
How long on average does it take to get through this section?
It takes a while. I don't remember the exact time, but it's like considering that this is the last level or whatever, and they literally throw everything at you, even after you beat the standard mooks, it takes a while.
See, this is padding at its finest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where I definitely agree with you on this one, BJ. Because it's like, I don't mind going after wave of mooks and everything. But, I mean, there's taking on a wave and, you feel really powerful doing so. And then there's just overkill and it's just like, okay, come on. Can I just move on to the next part already?
Well, I guess we're technically moving to the next part now.
Didn't some of them die?
Oh yeah, they died. These are just clones.
Oh, right, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I said take care of Vertigo first.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I know, like, when we first ran into Vertigo in the sewer level, the whole visuals or whatever, is like, they didn't really bother me they don't really bother me as much, but in this particular case, it's like, yeah, just like, get rid of Vertigo first. Not so much because of the visuals, but because it's like, that's all Vertigo does. So it's like, just take Vertigo out and be done with it.
That also said, this goes into another of the game's just major faults. It's rehashing everything, because guess what? This is effectively the game's final boss. If I recall correctly, you don't actually fight Sinister.
Unfortunately, like, spoiler alert, you don't really fight the real Sinister per se, but I guess you fight the next best thing. But I mean, to be fair, when we get around to it, it does. Granted, when I first played, the next best thing to the real Sinister after I beat Arclight and Blockbuster, it did pose to a challenge. That was before I ran into one particular, I guess, I don't know if an exploit is the appropriate term for it, but it is really effective with the next fight.
See,
okay.
the sad thing is, as well, it's like, I canonically, for the character of Mr. Sinister, throwing a shit ton of clone mooks at Deadpool like this is in character. It doesn't make for great gameplay, obviously. It's padding, but the fact that he's fighting Mr. Sinister makes Mr. Sinister's a coward. He's the kind of guy. Best way to put it, he's just like Okumura, Danny, in Persona 5.
Okay.
He's that kind of trait. He's that trait villain, where he relies way too much on his mooks, and then the moment he's powerful by himself, yes, but the moment he's alone, he tends to have issues.
Ow.
Yeah.
So I said, if we had any other kind of villain, like Magneto or even Doctor Doom, fights like these wouldn't be as padded out, because at a point, those guys would actually feel like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna take care of this asshole myself.
Right.
Alright, well, Arclight's down. All that's left now is to take out Blockbuster.
Well, I guess Doctor Doom is kind of an if on that, because Doctor Doom is another guy that likes to make clones, but not direct clones. He makes Doom bots. He makes robots of himself.
That's true.
But the moment he realizes that the Doom bots are ineffective, he will step in. He won't work them to the last man, because because as a smart leader of Latveria, he doesn't like to waste resources.
Okay.
Doctor Doom actually is a very interesting character, despite being classified as one of the most evil characters in Marvel. It's actually been canonically confirmed that if Doctor Doom did succeed in ruling the world, it actually would become a better place.
Huh.
Because... Oh, hello.
Also, must I do everything myself? What are you talking about, Mr. Sinister? You're not really doing this yourself. You're relying on even more Mr. Sinister clones to do your dirty work.
Yeah.
Now it's like, with this particular fight, fighting Mr. Sinister clones, like, if you don't really utilize certain of Deadpool's abilities, they do pose a kind of challenge. Fortunately, this is where if you haven't really, if you're like me and you haven't really used a lot of the momentum moves earlier, this will be a perfect time to do so, because much like a lot of the regular moves we fought across, if you say juggle these clones in the air, let them fall on the ground, hit them once, or if you find any particular way to make these clones dizzy with any other momentum moves, you can instant kill them. Like so. I used that one momentum move with the LB and A buttons, which, because due to the shockwave, it pretty much stunned the 3 Mr. Sinister clones within that range. So that means I could just instantly go up to them and just instant kill all 3 of them. Well, before they become undizzy.
Wait, Sinister, what did you just say? Do you not bleed? Deadpool's been bleeding this entire fucking game.
It's like he bleeds, but he just doesn't stop.
Your lines are very inconsistent, Sinister. Like, you straight up have that cocky villain, have those cocky, like, you know, bad Saturday cartoon villain lines.
My regenerative clothes will be the end of you, Deadpool. Wait, stop stabbing my... Stop killing my clothes!
Now it is time.
Now is the time to end your life. Stop that! Stop doing that! Damn you, Deadpool! God.
Hey.
But yeah, with Mr. Sinister clone's various attacks, it's like a lot of times it's like sometimes they can be predictable. Other times, they can throw you off guard at times, especially if one clone attacks you from behind. But again, if you rely on the momentum moves whenever they're available to you, this fight is a lot easier than it looks.
That also said, that's it.
Yep, that is it.
That's the end of the game.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it.
Revolting! Disgusting abomination! With no place in this world!
Well, here we are, the moment of truth. Can you believe it? You know, I wasn't sure how you do, but gotta say, you crushed it. Well, we crushed it. We make an amazing team.
Nearly brings us to tears.
We should do this more often. We thought it'd be better for the game.
4 years later. Oh, no sequel? Bummer.
We did all the work.
Just push your button to execute our super awesome amazing plan.
And this is the part of the game that I like to call, yeah, forget this, I'm taking a restroom break.
Don't spoil it. Go ahead, player. Whenever you're ready.
Meanwhile, Mr. Sinister's sitting there just monologuing at Deadpool, lecturing him the whole time. Because you can't even really hear him.
Yeah, it's like, blah, 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 blah. Wait, what did he say? I never understand what Mr. Sinister says. It's always that wah 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 crap.
We believe in you.
But no, seriously, if you really wanted to, you can just, yeah, take one quick bathroom break, or just leave the put the controller down and just let this play on. for extra content.
That one time with those other dudes when we totally did that one thing and everyone busted up laughing because what's his name fell over to that other guy and we were all like, push that damn button!
Okay, last line.
It's on the controller, shaking fingers poised over the button, each tip glistening with sweat and quivering in anticipation of the moment in which you
Push the button!
Okay, and now the ending cutscene can officially begin. Oh! Oh! Damn!
Sinister, right?
It's good!
Seriously, okay, we're done here.
Confirmed by Cable. That's how you know it's real.
Yep. Also, I could really appreciate the decrease in frame rate as the camera pans away from the TV, even in the Xbox One version. Good job, High Moon Studios. Okay, aside from the neat little quirks between Deadpool and the director or whatever. Okay, after some time with Deadpool, actually, what did you guys think?
What did you think, Danny? Because I spilled my guts throughout the entire Let's Play.
Yeah. You know what? That's a really good point. I can sum up your reaction within a little clip show or a little sentence mixing. Cue the clip.
This is a terrible idea. They didn't really make a video game. They made a giant meme. There is a lot of hit and miss with the humor, and a lot of it is very forced, unfortunately. I seem a little pessimistic from the get-go. I've seen this game in action many, many times from multiple people. Gotta say, even from the first time I watched the game, it just didn't really draw me in. I don't care for this game. Like, hi, I'm Deadpool, I kick ass. That's literally the story. There's no story. It's all gags. That's literally what it is.
Wasn't that hilarious? Very informative. I am sick of your shit. Anyway, Danny, seeing as how this is the first time you've seen this game, what did you think?
There are some points I can definitely agree with you on, BJ. Like, some parts did drag on, and I think it's like, yeah, like, you know, it's just wave after wave of mooks. It's like, you know, similar scenery. You know, that being said, though, it's like, you know, I did feel those parts, you know, while they did drag, they were few and far in between. And I actually did get a good chuckle out of most of the jokes. I mean, yeah, there were some that fell flat, but a lot of them, they did make me smile. And, you know, I guess this is just one of those games, like, that's probably a game I gotta try for myself. It's probably something that's, like, way more fun to actually play than it is to watch.
That also said, and this is, yeah, there were a good number of jokes that anyone that were really humorous, but there were also, I think, a good number of jokes that kind of relied on one and done humor, I would say, where you get the laugh the first time out of it, but then afterwards, once you already know what's happening, that's it. It's not going to make you laugh anymore.
Yeah, you know what? That's exactly what I was gonna say in regards to the humor. I mean, obviously, humor is a very subjective thing. Like, it's either you'll like the joke or you won't as a hit or a miss. That being said, the first few times I played this game, but more so the first time, I enjoyed the humor that this game brought to the table. Because it's fucking Deadpool. I would not expect anything less. Or whatever, but yeah, I do agree with BJ. It's one of those games where it's like you would enjoy the humor at least once, and then after that, you'll know what's coming and it won't be funny anymore, which is why I am really glad that we at least had one person in the group that was able to see this game for the first time. That way we could get the genuine reactions, as it were.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's like, overall, like, even with, like, you know, some of the repetitiveness with the mook waves, and I mean, it's like, yeah, that last battle was, like, that's disappointing. I mean, it's like, you would think, like, after all this build-up and everything, you would get, like, you know, this, like, climactic and really funny showdown between him and Mr. Sinister, and all it is, it's just another wave of mooks. It's like, it's the same shit we've been doing every other time, and it's like, oh, really? So, I mean...
Yeah, it's like, oh no, the only difference here is that it's like between 5 to 10 minutes worth of the same mooks.
Yeah, and that's where it's
all
like...
at once!
Yeah, it's like, again, it was kind of going back to what I was saying. It's like, going after waves of mooks, can be a very powerful thing to feel and do and everything when you're playing a game. But when you do it so often, and you do it for so long, the effect kind of wears out after a while. And it's like, to me, it doesn't look like, this is like, the epic climactic showdown or anything. It's just, it's the same shit we've been doing all from beginning to end. And it's just, I hate it when games do this, where it's like, after all this build-up and everything, and then it's like, the payoff is so disappointing. I hate it when games do that. And it's a shame to see Deadpool do that, because otherwise, I'd say overall, I enjoyed watching this game. I definitely wouldn't mind, checking it out for myself, but it's just like, God, what the hell happened at the end? You know what it kind of reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of with Batman Arkham Asylum, that final battle with the Joker. It's like, you'd think this would be like this big climactic showdown, and what it really amounted to was just, it's just giant mook Joker. It's like, that's really all it became at the end, and I was like, oh, really? Yeah. That's it?
Yeah, the ending, like, it can be a little bit of a letdown, although to be honest, back when I played this game, like, when it first came out or whatever, this fight with the Sinister Clones was, like, the one thing I had a really difficult time to, because at the time, I couldn't read, like, exactly what these Sinister Clones were gonna do, especially when they were all, like, charging at me and shit. Even though the ending was was not as, great as I expected it to be, it's like, considering that I had to go through so much shit with the Sinister Clones, seeing as how I would always have the hardest time trying to figure out what's an easier way to kill these clones, or better yet, how am I supposed to predict exactly what all of these Sinister Clones are going to do, especially when they're all charging at me and showing barrage of psychic attacks or whatever. So it was like, even though the ending was a bit of a letdown, I'm just sitting here going, you know what, hey, after all that shit, I beat the game, so it's worth it with me. Fuck it, whatever. But even so, it's like, yeah, well, I do also agree that, yeah, again, this correlates back to, like, one of the biggest criticisms that I had with this game. Yeah, there's the repetitive combat or whatever, but there's also the fact that with a very short plot like Deadpool, they try to make up for it by dragging on the levels much longer than they should be. The Citadel level, the final level, that is probably the biggest example, because like I said, it's like, depending on how things go, it would take you like 10 minutes to go through the regular mooks before you get into that little mini boss rush with Arclight, Blockbuster, and Vertigo. But even with that, in that case, would I consider Deadpool to be a terrible game? No, not really. I mean, it's not a terrible game, but it's also not a good game either. It's like, I can go ahead and just call out the faults with this game, much like you and BJ did. But at the same time, though, there are some things I can appreciate with the game as well. But at the same time, though, I felt like they could have done a lot more with this game. Now, it's like, oh, but hold up, the main joke with this game was the budget. So it would have been easier said than done, because that would have ruined the point of the budget joke. But even so, it's like, that's not that, it's like, that would not be a great excuse to lack the quality and other content within a game like Deadpool, especially with a beat-em-up game of all games, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, it's like, it's not good, it's not terrible, it's alright. I mean, it's like, if I was in the mood for a beat-em-up game, I would go back to Deadpool, no problem.
Yeah, man, it's like, there's nothing wrong with it being like an average beat-em-up. I'd rather play an average beat-em-up than a shitty one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's some things that could have been improved on or whatever, but it does its job well enough for a beat-em-up. Mm-hmm. Even with the repetitive enemies or whatever, which, yeah, there could have been, like, yeah, considering that these are clones we're dealing with here, I can only imagine there shouldn't have been anything wrong with adding a variety of clones. It's kind of like fucking in the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show when the Shredder discovered the possibility of mutating his own mooks into animals. Yet he only did that with just Bebop and Rocksteady, and that's it. Alright, but with that, I think that will pretty much do it. So, with that being said, as always, thank you guys so much for joining us on another playthrough on this channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough of the Deadpool video game, even if it was a hit or a miss for some of you folks out there. And be sure to tune in next week, because the next playthrough I have in store is going to be going a little bit old school. Now, much like the Deadpool game, it could be a hit or a miss for some of you folks as well. I mean, this game could make you go completely apeshit, or it could be a game that is rather appealing for some of you folks. So, be sure to tune in next week when we get into some major monkey business. Good night, everybody.